There we go. Got you.
Hi, and it's good evening from Tony.
And it's good evening from Pete.
How's it going, gang? I'm glad you could all turn up. Quite a few people in chat already, P.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Good evening,
good.
Craig.
Yeah.
Stuart, Conway, Craig again, John, Nash and Andy. Good evening, guys.
Evening, everyone. Righty-o. So, I'm just going to... Peter, right, let's just see if I can get this actual display of the chat to work. Pete, if you just want to take the reins for a moment, I'm having a few technical difficulties with the chat. So, just if you can take the lead, please.
No problem. Yeah, tonight's discussion, guys, if you remember from last week, because we were on my channel last week, is VG and PG staying with the allergies, really. We've got a little bit of information, but we'll be interested to see what everybody's opinion is on what does it do. I'm on this end, really, so I'll be diving onto Google and find out some answers if I can for you, but I've done a few videos on PG and VG separately. I've even done a taste test. I don't know if you've ever done that. Just put PG in your vape and VG in your vape. Try it, boys, you'll be shocked. I'm telling you. Because do you know when they taste wine or anything like that? They always test them differently, don't they? And I thought one night I'll just test out VG, woof, PG, woof, and different thing, you know. But since I've done that, I can taste the flavours coming through. So just try that in your vapes, guys. Big guns. How are you, mate? But anyway, hand it back to Tony.
Okay, rightio. Okay, chat, don't be too alarmed if you don't see your messages coming up on screen. There's a bit of like sort of problem with the display. However, we still can see your chat on the actual YouTube side. So guys, I'm going to take that off the screen. So if you can't see your chat coming up, don't worry about it. We can still see it off screen, yeah? So when that comes in there, obviously we'll respond to, yeah? So yeah, this is the second show. The idea behind this is a collaboration between me and Peter, and it's called the Vape Debate, as you can see. Now, each week we're going to do topics, if you like, regarding all things vaping under the sun. So, you know, if you want us to chat about something, you can throw it in chat now, and we might do it as a topic next week or a subtopic maybe. But what happened last week when we were chatting, P, we had a request, didn't we? And basically it was for the origins of VG and PG. So that's what we're going to be opening the show with tonight, guys. I think, was it John Nash, I think it was? Was it you, John, if you can remember, who asked the question? So that's what we're going to like sort of concentrate on tonight, P, yeah? So it's VG and PG.
That's what we keep going on, mate, yeah. Just an interesting one from Teppy, man.
Yep.
Masturbate.
There's always going to be one, wasn't there? Jay's Vape is also having a go as well. 68 guns allowed. So guys, yeah, if you want to throw something in chat, as I say, for, you know, if we can get it in this week, we'll do it. If not, it'll go next week's topic or a subtopic. So, as I say, VG and PG, this is like what we're opening up with tonight. So basically the original question, what are the origins of VG and PG? So we've done a little bit of digging around between us, like, so I'll go with my first bit and then Pete can throw his 2 penneth worth in. Now basically the definitions or the origins of VG and PG are as follows. Propylene glycol a colourless, viscous liquid, try and say that after a few pints, guys, used in antifreeze solutions, in hydraulic fluids, and as a solvent. Unlike ethylene glycol, though, it's not toxic, so don't be worrying about that. It is not toxic, I repeat, not toxic. And basically, it's used in oral hygiene products, as I said last week. If you clean your teeth, which I'm sure everyone does, that's got PG in, guys. Don't be worrying about it at all. Now, to move on to the VG, which is vegetable glycerin, it's just a clear, odorless liquid, yeah? And it's from plant oils such as palm oil, soy, coconut oil, yeah? And it's harmless. It has fatty essential acids in there, but there was a question about does it have pesticides in? Now, to put your mind at ease, the person who asked that question, no, it won't have pesticides because it's pharmaceutical grade and that will have been stripped out in the process, you know? So that was the information I'd gleaned, Peter. Have you got anything that you want to add to that yourself, P?
Yeah, we've done quite a bit. I've done quite a bit on that. Even Jay, you'd see him. I'm not sure what smoke machines and soap, but I'll go for that one. Well, we've looked into it. I've had a lot of questions because I did do an individual review on both more than once, and we looked back through the research really and left the links. I can't find the videos tonight, they're so far back. Otherwise, I could have put some information off them. I mean, the last question through comes to mind was on VG, vegetable glycerin. It was noted in a few comments and blogs that it leaves a residue or deposit on your lungs, which is highly likely because that's what leaves the residue on the windows. If you have your heating on, you notice if you have your heating on, your windows go foggy and stay foggy, you have to clean them. So there will be a residue of what we do in both PG and VG. But the lung is quite capable of getting anything back again. As a smoker, we know that because we used to cough black, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it was. We know the lung will deal. The only thing it doesn't deal with, probably not the only thing, but the thing that comes to mind is asbestos. And the only reason that it doesn't deal with asbestos is because asbestos has hooks, reverse hooks like fish hooks.
Yeah.
And it over up to 20 years can cause all sorts of cysts and stuff in the lung. But our lungs are capable of getting out the residue. That's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say is that I found research that both PG and VG has allergies. You know, I'd not to everyone, and found mostly in the cosmetics because these ingredients are used largely in cosmetics before they're ever used in vaping, and they've researched on certainly putting it on your face, not inhaling it so much. But we have found that people are allergic to PG. Because and what it causes like hives, and it happens over a period of time. So if you have a PG allergy and you notice you start to itch and things like that, it takes a few weeks or even a month or two to get it back out of your system. So they're the only two things I've found on the subject. But yeah, they both have side effects. But then again, if you read your medicines, as I think I said last week, they have bigger side effects. If you're any drugs, go on.
Yeah, and if I can jump in there, P, I mean, like talking about the lungs taking care of themselves, I say, you know, you quite like what you're saying, it leaves like a fine residue. Now, what the lung will do, it will eventually, you will clear your chest the way you used to with cigarettes, and that's how it will self-clean. You'll, if it needs to be, you will cough up. You won't notice it like you would say, it's not the same thing, but the lungs, when you bit of sputum, that is what it is. It's self-cleaning. So really, it's nothing to worry about that little bit of residue. Anyone in there who's a bit panicky head and that, do not panic. The lungs are quite capable of taking care of themselves. And also, if you think about it, guys, you never panicked about smoking. And that was bloody killing you, you know what I mean? And you carried on, and you knew how dangerous that was, and you carried on smoking. So, and all the carcinogens that are in smoking and poisons, you know, you never give it a second thought. So we're just talking about this tonight, VG and PG. I think the overriding factors to remember is there's nothing in there that can really harm you. There's nothing that's going to do permanent damage, as we know of yet, that is. The long-term effects may reveal something different. But, as we said, the Royal College of Physicians, a well-respected medical body throughout the world, have done their research and it's 95% safer. Cancer research went one further and said 97%. So VG and PG, as me and Pete have just explained to you, like what it appears in various products, it's not going to harm you. It really isn't, you know. What you can get is, as Peter said, I'm sort of repeating what Peter said, is allergies, allergic reactions. But I think you'll agree with me, Pete. Them allergic reactions, I mean, I'm not trying to like sort of make little of them because they're important to the people they happen to, but it's few and far between.
1 in thousands, it's very rare. Yeah.
And you can sort of rectify that yourself by changing your balance of PG and VG, you know. If you're like sort of intolerant to one of these, change the actual balance, like sort of, instead of go, like let's just work off the baseline of 50-50 VG, PG, and you're still suffering the consequence of a VG intolerance or a PG intolerance, well then move one of them to 60-40, 70-30 till you find the balance where the irritant is not happening anymore. So it's a bit of like sort of, not a self-healing process, but a process of elimination, if you will. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And bear in mind, this is all common knowledge on Google. So, you know, if you're getting any, like I had an allergy to nicotine, or rather, not an allergy, I was getting affected by nicotine, which affects the central nervous system.
Yeah.
And whoever you are, it affects the central nervous system. It stimulates it, or it sends it stupid, and it was stopping sending signals back to the inner ear for me, and it was causing vertigo. And it was a long time before I pinned it down. But you simply go on allergies to all the ingredients, allergies to nicotine, allergies to PG, allergies to VG, and Google will give you lists of it. And then if you're suffering from any of them, cut it out for a few weeks. And it's difficult. You know, you're going to have to compromise with vodka for PG. I don't know how you're going to get around that. But there are alternatives. You guys are probably going to say, and I look at the comments, the alternative for PG is what? The one guy who commented to me, one gentleman commented to me, said he'd actually gone back to smoking because he was suffering so bad with hives on PG, but then actually come back on it months later. It took him 6 months to get right.
Yeah.
Then he actually was working his way back in using mostly VG. So haven't had the results of that.
So basically, he just done what we sort of theoretically suggested, which was to alter your balance, your ratio of PG to VG. So, you know, at the end of the day, he must have had like sort of one of them eureka moments where he thought, you know what, I don't want to smoke anymore. I've gone back. I've made the mistake. I want to go back on vaping. And he must have had that just eureka moment where he thought, well, hang on, I'll do the balance of VG different till I get rid of what was happening to him, like, you know. So kudos to the fella for figuring that out and going back on. And I'm not being patronising when I'm saying that, but, you know, he come back off the ciggies and went back into vaping. I don't know the try. And by the sounds of it, he obviously he's going to get back to you and give you an update. How he's
going.
Yeah. Hello, Tommy Z, by the way. What's this? Stuart Nevins put in chat here, P. I'm getting lightheadedness from too much nicotine. Well, yeah, this is the thing, Stuart. I mean, as we know, with vaping, you can end up chain vaping, can't you? Like you used to end up chain smoking. You can chain vape. So therefore, it's a nicotine headache is what you get, and you've identified that correctly. Once again, at the risk of sounding patronising, and I don't wish to be, lower your nicotine, or, you know, do not chain vape as much is what I'd say as a starting point. Would you agree, P?
Yeah, I just jump in there because PG does have a dizziness side effect, by the way.
Yeah.
So look that up and see if that's affecting you, or it's part of you. Google that, allergies to propylene glycol, and then if you think that's something that's affecting, work on that as well. I mean, I spent a long time. I tried the coffee. I thought it was milk. Yeah, anything but vaping, wasn't it?
Like that? No, not me vaping.
I think it was a combination of the medicines which were affecting the nervous system, which was what everybody's on, statins and blood pressure tablets. Or certainly I was. I think it was a combination of 3 items. So don't forget to check you know that little leaflet in your medications, guys, when the doctor signs your prescription. Bloody read it. That's all I can say, because if you're suffering, it could be that plus something in the vaping that's causing. So it's a bit of research, and we'll help you out. We'll do the research for you. We'll certainly go back to that one. Check your PG.
The PG is and the combination of the nicotine, because when we were at Vapor Expo, and guys in chat who are at Vapor Expo might be able to echo what I'm about to say. When you're at that Vapor Expo, you're there for like 8 hours plus, and you are vaping like a good one, and because you're vaping with your 3 milligram nicotine, but you're constantly chain vaping, you get very similar symptoms to what Stuart's just said. You can get like a lightheadedness, and also it's the nicotine. So what I tended to do when I went to Vape Expo, I had a tank also with 0 nicotine. So you're on the right track, Stuart, in what you're doing, but with the addition of what Peter said about PG, also being prone to creating dizziness, maybe change the ratio, Stuart, to like heavy VG, or even go like sort of 80-20 80 VG 20 PG, and see how you get on with that. But I had a similar experience when I was at Vapor Expo, and a lot of the people at Vapor Expo will tell you a similar story.
Sorry, just typing. Hi, Vape Bunny. I don't need to type in. Hi, Vape Bunny. How you doing, fella? Good to see you over on Tony's channel, mate. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, can I just say before we continue? Sorry, Pierre, just remind me there. This, guys, is going to be a regular Saturday thing. So what we're doing, with it being a collaboration, it's going to be vice versa each week on my channel and then on Pete's channel. Now, Pete's channel, as you know, is Vaping at Pete's Place. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Pete, please subscribe to him now. That way, you will get the notification when it goes up on Pete's channel live, as you guys have got it on my channel. So if I can just say to you guys, if you'd like to subscribe to him, if you think I'll do it now while we're on channel, Vaping at Pete's Place. And I say, when this goes live, when it flip-flops about on my channel or Pete's channel, you will always receive a notification if you subscribe. So if you give Pete a subscribe, and by the way, even if you don't want to watch the channel again, this program, subscribe to him. He's a cracking reviewer. You won't be going wrong just doing that anyhow. But if you like what you're watching now, the Vape Debate, and you want to be involved, do go to his channel now and press that subscribe button for us. That'll be brilliant, and you won't miss out. So what's this, Stuart and Evan? Yeah, Tony, most of my liquids are 80-20, 70-30. Right, okay. It could be, by the sounds of it then, Stuart, that it's... Are you chain vaping, Stuart? Are you? Because I know you do a lot of the old driving, so are you chain vaping? I would imagine you are.
Just check the sound level. Someone sent me back a message some time ago about my sound being too high, Tony. I've shoved the mic away, guys, so if it's still booming, let us know.
Okay, I'll take you down a bit, Pete. So just take you down just a touch.
All right, and the Sloan Ranger. Yeah, guys, if you subscribe, don't forget that when you subscribe to any channel, there's a bell on the right-hand side. You've got to smash that to get the notifications. It's a YouTube change. Yeah. So once you subscribe to anyone and you want to see them again and get notifications, make sure you hit the bell as well, and that'll get you the notifications. It's YouTube doing YouTube's thing. Next thing you know, they'll be taking our money.
Now there's what money? We get money for this. No one told me. I've been getting buttons for some reason. So Stuart's saying he does chain vape. He absolutely chain vapes. So once again, you got to factor that in, Stuart. As I say, try and it's going to be a hard one, this, mate. But try and reduce the amount of vapes. Try and I don't know. If you're going to chain vape, maybe 30 minutes on, 20 minutes off. Try that for 24 hours or a week. See how you get on. So that'll be 30 minutes chain vaping, 20 minutes abstaining completely. I know it'll be a difficult one to crack, but it's going to be a process of elimination, this, Stuart. You know what I mean?
I've got a suggestion there, Tony.
Go ahead, P.
For Stuart, really. If you can plus ohm your vape, you can wind it, you can get a plus ohm vapor, because a lot of people don't realise that when you go sub ohm, you've got to drop your nicotine level, or you should be, unless you're Capstan full strength, wasn't it? But you got to pull your nicotine down. If you're a chain vapor, then I'd suggest that you start using, if you're not already, that is, if you are, we've got a problem, start upping your ohmage and your wines or whatever you use, buying coils with a plus ohm vape, so you get less vapor. If you're blowing big clouds, obviously with nicotine in them, you're going to get a lot more nicotine than blowing less clouds. Just a thought, Stu. You know, they aim to help, mate.
That's an interesting thought, Peter. Can I just add a little caveat to that? What you could do then, Stuart, taking on board what Peter's just suggested, which is excellent. Now, I know you're a sub-ohmer and you like your sub-ohms, but maybe then, discount what I said earlier about the 30 minutes, 20 minutes rule. Maybe then have an hour on a sub-ohm device and an hour on a plus-ohm device. That might be easier to actually control, you know. Yeah.
That's plus ohm. I only smoke plus ohm in a day, Stu. That's a twin coil plus ohm vape.
Yeah.
And it's cloudy. It's good enough for me.
Yeah. Well, I've got this guy here. Where is it? Right. This is the Amet. Where's it gone? I did have the Amet. The Amet's gone. The Amet's done a runner, by the way, folks. If anyone sees an Amet knocking around Liverpool, it's mine. But what I was going to say, the Amet is, what was it? It's a 1.25 or something like that. And it's brilliant. So that might be a good idea, what Peter said, Stuart. Have two devices in your cab. So do maybe an hour an hour on the sub-ohm, an hour on the plus-ohm, or 2 hours on the plus-ohm and back an hour. Mix and match. So that's a good idea, that, P. I don't know what you think about that, Stuart. Maybe if you have two devices in your cab and switch them about, maybe an hour on the sub-ohm, 2 hours on the plus-ohm device, go back to your sub-ohm for an hour, that type of thing. It'll be trial and error, won't it, P?
Definitely, but it's turned out that I'm plus ohm. I'm back to plus ohm. And the funny thing is, once I cut the nicotine down, I found out that I was enjoying the flavours better in my vape anyway. When I was high nicotine, I was going for the throat hit. Now I get much better flavours, and I used to stay on one flavour because I was a ex-smoker. So I'd stay on one cigarette, that's just the way I was built. But now I can vape any flavours, from custards to fruits to nicotines, and I'm alright. So there's a lot of benefit from cutting your nicotine down and going back to plus ohm vaping, because the truth is about sub-ohm vaping, it's a hole that sucks us up. You need a fuel tanker behind you every day, bringing the e-juice to you. It certainly cuts the cost if you can get used to plus ohm again, guys. You know, just a thought.
Yeah. So I think, as I say, Stuart, he's just put in chat there, Pete, that he's got like sort of 7 regulated devices and 5 mechs in his cab. So yeah, what I would suggest then, Stu, is basically like take 2 devices and do 2 of them at plus ohm and leave just 1 at sub ohm, and have a little go with that for a week, Stuart. And if you can, get back to us on the next vape debate, and you can give us an update if that idea worked, because it'd be interesting to see if that did work, wouldn't it, Peter?
Yeah, well, I think the feedback is what this show's about. That's what we decided, rather than sit here just vaping, telling jokes. We thought we'll just bring some interesting stuff in. James Carmichael got a friend of mine to switch to vaping, but he really wants a device that's good for low watt vaping. Well, it's plus ohm. It's as simple as that, James. It's plus ohm, and I think we all started. I'm moving from the mic in case of boom, guys. But we all started with plus ohm, or I did, 7 years ago. You know, so there's nothing wrong with plus ohm. I'm back on them and I like it, and it's certainly cheap.
Yeah, and also, Pete, sometimes like going back to your roots, so to speak. Yeah, I'm not going to start singing that song. I'll spare you from that. But sometimes going... I'm going to get some new boots. No, that's the wrong song. So sometimes, I mean, to be honest, yeah, it can sort of rekindle your interest. I mean, we've all gone into sub-ohm vaping, which is great. I love it and all that. But I've got a few devices myself now, P, which aren't strictly plus ohm. They're still sub-ohm, but the higher sub-ohm, you know, like 0.56 and all that. And that in itself is a refreshing change. I'm not saying ditch the sub-ohm, but what I think we've all forgot to do, we've all sort of gone a bit like sheep and all gone sub-ohm and say the lowest sub-ohm we can do. And I think we need to like get back to this sort of our roots, as I say, and experiment, guys. You know, have different setups, like, you know, for different days, if you will. And I think you'll find it quite interesting to do that. So guys in chat, try that out yourselves. And once again, on the next Vape Debate, get back and give us an update on how them ideas work for you. But particularly Stuart, if you can get back with that one, because that will be so helpful to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can get back, we can share that knowledge on the Vape Debate when you give us an update. By the way, the Vape Debate won't be on next Saturday because of my work, but it'll be on the following Saturday. So the next Vape Debate, unfortunately, is going to be in 2 weeks' time. But in 2 weeks' time, Stuart, if you can get back and give us an update and see how that idea went and let us know the results, that'd be fantastic for everyone else in chat, and we can share your knowledge, which will be super helpful to other people, you know.
Absolutely. And again, don't forget to smash the bell button, guys, because you won't get the notifications unless you do.
And also, guys, smash that like. Smash them likes, you know.
Oh, get us there, guys. If we're any use to you, get us up there. If you do, we've got it keyed in now where if you do type in the Vape Debate, you should get straight to these live performances or live shows. So do that, guys.
That's an interesting point. Vapor Bunny's just put in, well said, Vapor Bunny, the Zelos kit, yeah, with a Nautilus 2 on top. It's brilliant. I've got the Mrs. E-Cig stuff. She's still like sort of plus ohms pay, to be honest with you. And I got it at Zelos kit. And you know what? It's great. You can still throw some decent clouds out of it, even though it's a plus ohm device. So Stuart, that might be one for you to consider as well, the Zelos Aspire kit, you know.
And James is a good idea. I mean, I've still got as an antique, me Nautilus Aspire on the desk on a K-box, and you can still get the coils for these things, guys. They do the job.
In fact, give me a minute, P. I'll be back in a second if you don't mind holding the fort.
No problem, guys. But it is basically, and let me know if I'm moving here, guys. But it is. I've got no control. Tony's got the controls tonight. He does all the sound mixing. I've got to do it in a fortnight. So don't forget that it is a fortnight. It'll be on my channel in a fortnight's time. So again, smash the sub and like button if you want to be notified about that. But yeah, by all means, send us as much as you can, and we'll research it between. We've got a fortnight now, so you know if you want to send us any problems you've got, allergies you've got, or you think you've got, like you've done tonight, work on the nicotine, dizziness, anything that whether you think it's related or not. Then we'll have a go and try and crack it for you. That's the purpose. That's why Tony called it the Vape Debate, and everybody's called it Mass Debate. Okay, so but we can have the fame.
People, get your minds out of the gutters. Come on now. What it was, I'm out of breath because I'm 506 and I'm down the stairs at 506 is never a good idea. But what it was, I just legged it down to get Mrs. E-Cig stuff. That's the Aspire Zelos kit, yeah? Now this is a plus ohm. This one is coming out at 1.37, yeah? And that's just at 11 watts, and you can make that out, guys.
Perfect, yeah.
Right, now, it's a plus ohm kit. Yeah, so let's just see how it does for the clouds for you guys, yeah? I'm out of breath. 11 watts. 11 watts, let's see, I'll crank it up a bit more. So we'll take it up to, say, 15 watts, yeah? And let's see how that does.
That'd probably be too much, Tony, to be honest with you. Let me just find the battery.
Yeah, I mean, that's at 15 watts. I mean, James Carmichael, I mean, this is for your mate, as I say. This is 15 watts. That's not a problem. And that's 16 milligram nicotine in that, because that's what Mrs. E-Cig stuff likes. But she has it at 11 watts. I was just doing it for the purpose of demonstration. You can get good clouds out of it, you know. But I can't fault that. I mean, if you want to go for it, let's go back to 11 watts again. I'm not going to turn it into a review, guys. I'm just sort of giving you a demonstration of plus ohm, as Pete likes to call it. Yeah, plus ohm vaping.
That's good, yeah. I mean, that's what people need to know. I'm on voltage. I'm back to voltage, Omen, with the little Pico. I find squonking delightful, and having a little pico is brilliant.
Yeah, and I'd say with James's mate wanting to come off the ciggies, this is an ideal starter kit because it's very reminiscent of smoking. Don't shout at me for saying a horrible word, but I'm just giving a demonstration because this is a mouth-to-lung device, strictly speaking. You can do a direct lung on it, but it's a mouth-to-lung, which is very similar to the behaviour of smoking. So you're not going to chuck huge clouds, but that's not bad, guys. It's been a while since I've mouth to lung, so my technique's a bit like shabby, like. But I think you get the gist, yeah.
That's the way to go, guys. I think if you want to cut out nicotine or cut down on nicotine, you cut it in your mix, and you build your single coil plus home, and work back up from there. Really. Well, that's a good way to find out if it's causing you a problem. Give it a couple of 3 weeks, you'll know, because the dizziness should stop. And what the dizziness is, and I'll just reiterate here, nicotine stimulates the central nervous system, so we've got to be careful anyway.
Yeah.
And in some, if it overpowers it, it actually overstimulates it, and it can affect signals sent to different parts of the body. One is the brain and the inner ear, and that's where the dizziness in me was coming from. So, but bear in mind, we're not doctors and physicians. We're just finding this stuff on Google and anywhere we can, guys. You know what I mean?
And what you're saying, Pete, is perfectly correct. It's like sort of various sort of like behaviours have various response behaviours, like what people were saying then about the nicotine, those sort of incapacitating this nervous system, not incapacitating but affecting it, right? It's like when you drink alcohol. When you get drunk, the reason you wobble everywhere, you may or you may not know this, in your ears there's like 2 spirit levels, which basically help you to walk, to keep you balanced. So when you've had too much alcohol, because the ratio of blood and alcohol in your stream is out, these sort of spirit levels, if you will, go all wonky. And that's why you stagger and wobble when you've had too much to drink. So it's a similar principle, although not the same as what people are saying about the nicotine affecting the nervous system, so to speak, Everything has slight side effects, and as we said, not wishing to labour the point too much, but it's down to yourself to do a little bit of like sort of process of elimination, and you will get it, guys. You'll figure it out, and when you do, please report back to the Vape Debate and let us know so we can share that knowledge with everyone,
Absolutely, yeah. And again, I keep coming back to this. Check what medications, prescription medication, or any medication, even you should be reading the part that says effects or side effects on any anything you're putting in your mouth, to be honest, because it could be clashing with what you're taking regularly, so just bear that in mind, guys. Research. I had to research, and it took me a long time to find out what was giving me the problem. I'm bloody glad I did it, and here I am, still vaping, still using nicotine at the right level, still using PG and VG, and I'm still breathing.
James is off to the cinema. He's had enough of us, he said. No, he didn't say that. Enjoy the pictures, James. James, enjoy the pictures, mate. As we say in Liverpool, we call it the pictures. But it's the cinema anyway.
Well, that's a good one, Settlement. Flavourings and all. Now, we know the TPD has put a lot more control on, and I don't know how much control, but we know that they've ruled out some flavourings now. I haven't got the TPD in front of me, but some flavourings have been banned, more the custody ones, things like that. Now, I don't know if suppliers are still producing these. It's e-debate, and I would suggest that when they do finally enforce one as a showcase, then they'll end up with a huge sentence and a huge fine, because it says unlimited sentence and unlimited fine. So if you manufacture it, be careful. I was an example of working for a company that was an example, rather, of a test case, and they got offline. But they will test TPD. I do notice there's a few things slipping through the net from other countries, and how they'll enforce that, I don't know. I do know they'll enforce the supplier.
Yeah, because ignorance is never an excuse in the court of law.
No.
And they cannot plead ignorance as an excuse. They just won't accept it. So, I mean, just to broach the subject of TPD slightly, we were all, oh no, the TPD, which is now called the TRPR, as well. We all went, oh no, but that is one of the good things of regulation, is what Pete's just touched upon. You have to monitor what goes into the juices now. And as Peter said, there will be fines imposed on people if they abuse this. So the TPD, even though we didn't really want it, guys, I suppose we had to have some sort of regulation, and that'll be one of the good points of TPD. Yay, I found a good one. But I don't want to labour the points on TPD. I was just sort of building up on what Pete said,
But it is, yeah, don't... I think the legitimate ways, nick shots and stuff like that, are coming round, and TPD says nicotine containing products containing nicotine. So I noticed that people are coming back on with, they've got adapters in the tanks and stuff like that, but people are, technically to buy a tank, it should be 2 mil, but that's not what TPD laws say unless they change them.
Yeah.
It says if it's contained in nicotine, it has to be in 2 mil containers. So
yeah, that's
too bad.
Yeah, that's where like the sort of the how can I put it, TPD TRPR becomes a bit of a political minefield. The wording is open to contradiction, or to even be manipulated to the way that they want it to be. What's that? Conway Valley Vapors, TPDR cost us money. Yeah, it has, and I say I don't. Maybe this might be a subject for the next time round, guys. Possibly, because we don't want to go off the rails of what we're talking about originally. So that might be one for the next debate. P, what do you think? TPD or TRPR?
I think we'll make that a topic on the next.
That's what I'm thinking, because guys in the chat seem to be sort of throwing a 2 pennies worth in, which is brilliant. And maybe we might make that the actual subject matter of the next vape debate,
Yeah,
and we
or masturbate.
No.
I started TPD, guys. Sorry about that. But,
no, but it's good. But as I say, we don't want to sort of drift too far away from what we talked about was VGPG. However, we can still sort of dip our toe in the water with the conversation. But maybe a full-blown vape debate on that one next time out. P, what do you think?
I think it's worth doing. What do people think about it? It hasn't affected me because I buy nick shots and mix my own.
Yeah.
So it affects me only in one way, 10 ml bottles, and that's the only thing that affects me.
I always 10 ml bottles sitting on the wall. Sorry about that.
Yeah, because they're never easy to squeeze, are they?
No.
They're always hard work to get into a big tank or something,
And on a serious note, if you've got problems with your hands, if there's a disability there, that's a big negative, isn't it?
Yeah, it is indeed.
So maybe they haven't really thought that through as well as they should have done. I tell you what, guys, if you don't mind, Pete, if you want to throw a few ideas in chat for a future topic on the vape debate, if you'd like to sort of, if you can do it at the vape debate, so you do at the vape debate, so we'll be able to identify that it's a topic. And Pete, if you've got a pen and paper, you can sort of make a few little notes as these pop into the chat. Yeah. So just to repeat, guys, if you want to throw in your ideas for future vape debate topics or subtopics, if you want to put in at the vape debate followed by your topic, we'll make a note of it and we'll get round to doing it for you guys, And
the other thing, guys, just to jump in, is that what we're going to do, if it'll accept the links, if your birthday's coming up, right? If you've got a birthday coming up in a week's time, whenever, because we'll mention this every week, go and set up an Amazon wish list. I'll put the link on here and see if any of your buddies will buy you some stuff. Okay.
That's a great idea, P. So if I've understood you correctly, what the guys in chat need to do is set up a wish list on Amazon. Yeah. And then once they've set up that wish list on Amazon, what they can do is throw it here in the Vape Debate chat. Yeah. If the people watching want to do them guys a favour, if it's their birthday when they throw it in, they can then purchase something as a birthday present for someone in chat. That's what you were saying, P, yeah?
That's a community spirit. And you find the link, guys, when you've set up your wish list, it gives you an opportunity to share. If you press the share button on your wish list, you'll find it, or you can YouTube how to do it. You'll get a link, and that's the link that you can post here. Now, I'm hoping that live chat doesn't let you post links. A lot, but it's website links, so it should come over. So someone could try that. I'm sure you don't mind doing it. I've got a wish list on my channels.
And I have followed suit, and I have one now as well. Like, yeah, Pat Falvey, if I can just say, Falvey, sorry, Pat, if I can just say, I'm trying to figure out, Pete, you may know about this. Pat's not getting any notification at all when my videos or live casts are going up. Now he's desubbed and resubbed, clicked all the appropriate things, and as you just said, he hasn't got it again tonight. And also the Sloan Ranger said earlier on she wasn't getting notifications. Any ideas, Pete, what you think that might be?
It is, they have changed it, and it depends. I don't think it matters. You had the new YouTube update where you can change it to a black screen and all the rest of it. But either way, when you subscribe, and don't get me wrong, YouTube sometimes knock back notifications on some, so it could be YouTube. But they've stated on their blog that you have to hit the bell at the right-hand side of the sub button. So when you subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, and hit the bell when you subscribe, and that should do the trick, unless YouTube knackers that. Yeah. YouTube gives us a great big problem with the comments that we've mostly overcome. We weren't getting a lot of our comments over, and people were saying about that, but that's the one. Sub and hit the bell at the side of the sub, not the one at the top, but the one at the side of the subscribe button.
Yeah. Yeah, Pat has done that. He's definitely done that, and it's still that. And the Sloan Ranger also has done that, and she's not getting it. So I'm going to have to get try and get hold of the powers that be at YouTube. Which, to be honest with you guys, trying to get hold of the powers that be is like trying to knit fog. Sometimes it really is.
So difficult. Yeah.
You know, sometimes there's elusive with Lord Lucan. You know.
Don't talk to him, did he? He's far too low, Google.
I like it, Pete.
But the thing is, if you send a direct message on your help, you usually get it back in your email of the problem, and then you can take up the email and do it from there.
There's an interesting point. Craig Campbell's just put in, Pat, you might be able to see that, Pat. It says you might need to re-sign into your YouTube account for it to take effect, you know? It's an interesting one. It'd be weird.
It's a good one, but you could sign out of your Google account.
Yeah.
Because your YouTube's connected to Google.
Yeah. So
sign out of your Google account.
Yeah.
And then re-sign in again, and that should put everything back on. But it's a good point. That might work. Yeah. But we need to investigate it, because, quite frankly, they're doing this out of what we're working hard to get. Yeah. If they do so, Tony will do that. And if you're on my channel, let me know. If you're not got a notification, let me know, and I'll certainly get onto YouTube.
Talking of your channel, P, there's a few more guys come in chat. 68 Guns, Sloan Ranger. Guys, I'll repeat this in case you weren't around when I said the first time. The Vape Debate is going to be a regular Saturday night show, and it's a collaboration between me and Pete. Now, one week it's going to be on my channel, Tony's E-Cig Stuff, and the next week, Pete's Vaping at Pete's Place. So what you need to do, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Pete's Place, go over there now and subscribe. I mean, he's a great reviewer anyhow, so you're not doing yourself any disservice by doing that in the first instance, but you'll be doing yourself an extra bonus if you do it, because if you like this show, the Vape Debate, as I say, it's going to alternate each week between my channel and Pete's, and if you're not subscribed to Pete's channel, you're going to miss it, guys. So if you don't mind, get over there and subscribe to Pete's Place for us. That would be brilliant, yeah?
I have to reiterate, when you say I'm a great reviewer, I think I am, but the wife thinks I'm a tosser. Any time now. And another thing, guys, Conway Valley Vapers, get over there, guys. You know, let's support these guys. And
yes,
into a hell of a lot, you know.
Yeah, well said, Pete. Well said, indeed.
But no, it's difficult. It's difficult. Yeah, here we go. That's for you, the Sloan Ranger. Does this mean no more Vape Detective then, Tony?
No, I'm glad that was mentioned, because what it was, the Sloan Ranger, to be quite honest with you, it's not gone, the Vape Detective. To be quite honest with you, even though the show is quite simple to play, it's a very time-consuming show to actually, like, sort of, compile, yeah? Now, the nature of my job is very difficult that I can always do it on a regular basis. So I did mention on Vape Detective last time that it would go to like a flash show status rather than regular. And since then, there's been a few more developments with my job where it's going to be pretty difficult for the near future for me to do Vape Detective. So it's not gone. What it is, I'm resting it until I can get it back up and running. So, guys, I haven't deserted it. It hasn't gone, trust me. It's just having a little rest. It will be back, and it'll be back with a gusto. So, yeah, so don't fear, guys. It's just having a rest, and I'm sorry if I feel like I've let you down a bit, but time constraints at the moment. My life has gone into ultra hectic mode at the moment, so doing all these things together is pretty much a mission impossible. So I've had to be selective, and I say Vape Detective is not gone, it's just having a rest. So it will be back, guys. And thanks for the support on Vape Detective, by the way. You guys were excellent, and hopefully you can support this new collaboration, the Vape Detective with me and Pete. That'll be brilliant as well,
That's right. Keep it going, guys, because we enjoy this. Doing live it's time off for me, because I spend 15-ish hours a week making up the reviews, thinking about it, and all the rest of it. It takes about 15 hours a week to do YouTube for me. So I'm doing a live, especially doing a live on Tony's channel, because I don't do anything. It's brilliant.
That's what his missus says.
So, but it's very consuming, and I sympathise with Tony there, because sometimes you just, and there's times when you don't want to make a review. You just don't, but you know you've got to get one out, because people expect you to do so. And I don't mind that, and Tony doesn't mind that, and we do it. But that's how it works. It's very difficult.
Yeah. I would love to have unlimited time resources to do all these things, guys, because like Pete just said, we love doing it, don't we, Pete?
I do, yeah.
But unfortunately, the real world dictates that you've got to put your job first, and it restricts the available time to do these things. But guys, I really appreciate that you appreciate these things. Cheers once again, So what have we got going on in chat, Pete? Because I just had a little bit of a waffle there.
Anyone tried Vaping? And our prints, I'm waiting on both. Just made 2 500ml bottles on Thursday, so I'm interested if anyone had made them. So I haven't, but I would be interested, because I'm always looking for new stuff to review as well. So that would be good. So anybody got any idea? If not, come back with some info and links for that. If you can post the links, that is.
Yeah, I wonder if Pat, I was just thinking, I'm actually subscribed to your YouTube, your Facebook. So if you want to throw information there, and I can get it on board for your next show, if you can't post it here at the moment, that'll be brilliant. Because what it is, Pat, I believe you're in Northern Ireland, Pat, aren't you? And he was saying the other day, Pete, that a lot of the juices that I review is probably applicable to yourself. A lot of them he can't get in Northern Ireland. Now I'm wondering if this Vic King and our Prince, based in Northern Ireland, and will we have the same difficulty getting it here? I wonder,
Very interesting. Evening, John. Good to see you again there, mate. Keep up the good work. But I don't know. It's keeping up with. I find it difficult to keep up at the moment with all the stuff that's coming out on the market. It's a good thing that it is, because that means it's thriving.
Apologies, Republic of Ireland. I'm so sorry, Pat. I'm so sorry. 1,000 apologies. For some reason, I had Northern Ireland. I really apologise about that. I apologise, my friend.
He's terrible, isn't he?
Republic of Ireland.
Talking about New York the other night, doesn't know his own country.
I'll get me coat then.
Conway Valley Vapers, we now ship to Northern Ireland. There you go. There's a good one for you. So get to Conway Vapers website, guys. I think it's www.conwaysvapers.com, is it, Tony?
Yeah. Now, sorry, that's where I've got myself confused. Vapor Bunnies, Northern Ireland. Sorry, guys. I hate getting anyone sort of geographics wrong, but I was crap at geography anyhow, if I'm honest about it, at school. I mean, if I was a homing pigeon, I would be dead within 5 minutes,
He wanted to be a bus driver, but he had no fucking chance.
I couldn't get out the garage. I got lost in the garage.
Yeah, so plenty. Keep going, keep advising each other, guys, because it's good to see UK juice coming out. It's good to see, because we're confident that it's under TPD and that the flavours will be regulated. It'll be done in laboratory conditions. It's a good word. I haven't had the charades yet. We're going to have good stuff. By the way, I keep telling Tony to take a Tia Maria in his Guinness. and he's laughing at me, and he hasn't tried it yet. But try a half a Guinness. You'll like this in Ireland because this is where I heard it from, the Irish. And it was half a Guinness with a full Tea Maria in it, or a pint of Guinness with 2 Tea Marias in it, whatever suits you, whatever floats your boat, and it tastes.
It does sound good. Conway Valley Vapors, you just put the actual URL for his shop, his link is in there. And David the Sulphur Vapor, hello dude, how's it going? David, I'm not sure if you just come in, but this is basically a collab now on a Saturday evening between me and Pete's place at 8 o'clock every Saturday. It's going to flip-flop channel. So last week it was on Pete's channel. This week, obviously, it's on my channel. So, David, do yourself a favour and subscribe to Vaping at Pete's place, yeah? And when you do, you will get a notification when the Vape Debate is actually on his channel. If you don't do it, you might miss out. So if you don't mind, David, give him a sub. You might already be subbed, I don't know. But if you're not, please subscribe. And as I say, what's that? You should do it, Tony. It's great. What's that? What should I do? I've missed that one, P.
John Nash. Hang on, let me go back to John. John's a good old favourite on my channel, John. He's a good commenter and a great source of information, aren't you, John? And John's not doing too good at the moment, guys, so all thumbs up for John. That might encourage him. And you should try Tony. It's great. I don't actually know, John. Could you just elaborate on that for us, fella? Sulphur Vapors will do, Tony, yeah? Okay.
Cheers, David. And Pete, if you haven't subscribed to Salford, have a go, mate. He's a cracking new reviewer, by the way. Absolutely. He's a great new reviewer. He's just hit his ton up subscribers as well.
Oh, brilliant. There you go, John. Oh, the dream.
Oh, yes. Oh, John, have no fear. I will be doing that one. I am open to all suggestions when it comes to alcohol. Yeah, got you now, John. Yeah, defo, that will be getting done. That'll be getting smashed. I might even have a go at that later on this evening. You never know. If you see all over the ITV News at 10, man found roaming around the streets saying, shouting, vaping is great and falling over, it'll be me trying Pete's tipple.
Scouts are found in Mersey. Shouting Tea Maria and Guinness.
Yeah, and vape on as he bobbed up and down.
It's great, this, guys, because I'm halfway between Ireland and Scousland.
So if anyone wants to get to Liverpool from Ireland, leapfrog on Peter's back and then leapfrog across the pond to Liverpool. And if you're in Liverpool and you want to get to Ireland, leapfrog onto Peter's back and over to Ireland. Easy peasy. Because
we invented the Guinness and the Tea Maria. Because they used to say the Isle of Man was 60,000 alcoholics, 60,000 people clinging to a rock in the state of alcoholism, but they got it wrong. There's 83,000 of it.
I love it. Yeah, that's one thing I say the three demographics have got in common, like sort of Liverpool, Ireland and the Isle of Man. We all love our fallen down juice. Yes, we do. Never mind e-juice, we love our fallen down juice, you know.
Friend of the earth every Friday night, you can find me hugging it.
And it always makes the whale seem a little bit better, if not for a short while at least.
Very funny, yeah, Isle of Man, mate. Good old TT races. Always wanted one time in my youth, but then sensibility hit me. Old age and I run out of money, but hey-oh, you know.
What's that? Tony, did you see my comments about the King and Prince, the two recipes? Right, I'm with you. It makes more sense now, Pat, because I did have a look at it. So it's basically the King and Prince. These are recipes from Vaping with Vic in Scotland. He came up with right, got you now, yeah. You're not claiming the glory for them. You're an honest man, Pat. Yes, you are. I thought that was your idea. But whenever I do decide to do it, I will now, in my mind, accredit it to you, even though it's Vic's. So it's not plagiarism, it's just the way I'll remember it now. But thanks for that, Pat. I appreciate that.
I've linked a good recipe, not calculator, not a juice calculator, a recipe builder site over on my Patreon account, which I've left public, so you don't have to spend money there. If you want to nip over to www.patreon.co/Pete Place. You'll find, I'll go to one of my videos, you'll find it at the bottom. And you'll find a recipe builder, which is the dog's balls, to be honest with you. It's a great one.
Yeah, Vapor Bunny says one of her mates lives in Ramsey.
A small ranger, yeah. Post office, that's brilliant. I didn't realise. And you actually must. Sorry, I'm just getting up the things here. You've all gone ahead of me. Yeah, we're a great little tax haven here.
Oh, I'm moving.
They like to call it a finance centre, but we really know the truth, don't we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my cousin knows an awful lot about that, P.
Oh, it's going through a hard time at the minute. They spent all the money.
The Vapor Bunny said she's got a mate there as well. Mate's ex lives in Ramsey, a place called Trade de Lure. Has I pronounced that correct?
Well, Trade de Lure is the Manx term for we'll do it tomorrow.
Oh, right.
It's the laid back term. Don't do today what you can do tomorrow, which is the. So, you're very Trade de Lure, mate.
Oh, nice. We have one in Liverpool called a case of CBA. Can't be arsed.
That's it. Can't be arsed. C division, CDs, see that.
Yeah. CBA can't be arsed.
Yeah, but yeah, I like the Isle of Man. I've worked over over Tony's land, to be honest. I worked over the other side on a D side for a good few years before they closed it down. But I spent most of my life here now, give and take truck driving in the UK and France. So I'll go back to the previous comment. I was a truck driver as well, but we didn't have vaping, we didn't have mobile phones, and we didn't have bloody GPS. So what a bloody job it was, you know. But anyway, enough of that. Isle of Man's good. There's a lot here. Go for it. It's a bit. How can you put it? It's a bit like Alcatraz. I used to have a pilot's license so I could get off it when I wanted. The problem is you couldn't drink and fly like you can in a commercial seat.
Okay. My first encounter with the Isle of Man was back in 1981, and at the time the #1 single was "Come On Eileen." And we went for a bevy, and I was so impressed with the Isle of Man. It's such a lovely place, especially back then. They're not discrediting it now, P, when I say that, but they had more strict punishment laws. And and to be honest with you, it was such a refreshing place to go to because there was no vandalism, nothing at all back in 1981. It was absolutely pristine, and I count myself lucky that when I went, it was still in force. I mean, that sounds terrible, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, well.
You know, the deterrent was there, and it kept it a lovely, lovely place. I'm sure it's still a lovely, lovely place now, but the EU sort of got its nose involved and banned certain things, and you know, anyhow, I'll digress on. It's a lovely place, the Isle of Man. If you haven't been there, go there. You know.
Well, they used to say the birch was bad. Now the birch was really for teenagers, you know, but anyone could get it. And what they used to do is strap them across the desk, put a kidney protector on them, and lash them with birch branches till they bled. And it used to do the trick. But I had a friend. He went back for a second helping. And he went back because he bit the dog, the police dog's ear. So it was. We've not long got rid of the hanging. You know, we sort of complied, but they just left things alone. But it did work. Plus the fact you can't go anywhere if you commit a crime there. You know, you're caught on the boat. You know, but like anywhere else, it creeps up, and you can still leave your car keys in the car and the door key in the house. So that's not so bad, is it?
It's great if you drank a load of beer, isn't it? You'll never get locked out, you know what I mean? Pat, just to touch on what you were saying, I know Vic gave me a wonderful shout out a while back. He's a top guy. We all love Vic, Vaping with Vic. You know Vaping with Vic, P, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
He's a cracking fella. So, Pat, yeah, I'm very much aware of Vic giving us a shout out, and I totally appreciate it. Like, and he's a top guy, like, you know. And let me just reciprocate. If anyone on this channel hasn't subscribed to Vaping with Vic, go do it now, because he is a top bloke and you will not be dismayed that you've done that. It'd be the correct thing to do. So give him a shout out, give him a subscribe, because he's down to his last fucking 60,000, I think. No, but he's a top bloke anyhow. Now listen guys, unfortunately this show is only an hour long, and we are getting to the time where we're going to have to say goodbye. Now, if you want to just throw a couple of quick sort of ideas in for topics, if you want to like sort of get them in now, if you put at the Vape Detect, I'm getting all confused, Pete. If you put at the Vape Debate and the subject that you want us to cover in the next show, if you want to get them in now, guys, and we'll make note of that, and hopefully it'll either be a main topic or a subtopic of the next Vape Debate. And to reiterate, guys, next week it won't be on, unfortunately, to work constraints. It'll be on the following week, and it'll be on Pete's channel. So once again, guys, subscribe to Pete so you get notification of that. So if you want to get a few suggestions in now, guys, that would be great, because we will have to go very shortly, unfortunately. And can I just say, and I think Pete will agree with me, the interaction has been fantastic, guys. Really appreciate it.
Great, yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. But just reiterate, the comments will go on for a few minutes after Tony smashes the button. We're looking at the next debate being on the subject of TPD. We still will continue with the subject we were on tonight, if you require, which was VG and PG allergies. We'll find out more. Ask us any question you want. We'll try and research between doing the programs and find out a bit more information for you guys. But anyway, Tony, where are we going now?
Right, okay. Basically, David's just subscribed. Nice one, David. Pete, Dave's just subscribed here, yeah?
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, so as I say, also, Stuart should come back with the outcome of his sort of little experiment regarding his dizziness with the PJ, which will continue with the next Vape Debate. So we should have an update on that for you guys as well, like, yeah? So, listen, guys, it's now drawn to the end of the show. Unfortunately, we are going to have to go. So I'd just like to say thanks for joining in, guys, and it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.